So I'm going to look at this industrial endoscope camera, which has been sent to me for free by Banggood for a purpose of review. I showed this briefly in a mailbag, which you'll probably see in the future because some so far had mailbags, it's ridiculous. Anyway, we won't get there. So this is what it looks like. And I've got a SD card in there already, that's why I left the flap open. The SD card's already in there, it's got a USB charging port on the bottom, USB-C. It's got little lights up here, which actually works even though it's not powered up. That works independently. Put a wrist strap on it, I suppose you could if you've got one. It didn't come with one. Here is the actual camera. Now this is a 3-meter version. It's also got dual cameras, this particular model. So it's got a camera on the end here, which has got LED on it. And it's also got another camera on the side here, also with an LED, so you can actually switch views. And it has this rigid metal shaft, so you can just bend it to the shape you need to try and push it through things and what have you. And it's quite a long one, so if you're trying to reach a long distance, it might be alright. So that's that. And it also comes with these screw-in bits, attachments that go on the end here. So one's a magnetic pickup tool, and it's got a threaded section here, so that'll actually just thread in. And this one's just a simple hook, so if you drop something somewhere you can potentially pick it up using this. And basically on the very end of it here, it's got like a little collar, which I've currently screwed on. It comes with a little blanking collar as well to protect the threads. So the threads are just there, probably just see it. So the screws on there, and this is a little protective collar just to help protect the threads themselves and also the front of the camera because it protrudes very slightly. Just helps stop it getting scratched maybe. Also comes with a USB charging cable, as you would expect, because you've got to charge it up because it's got an internal battery. And here's the actual manual. Let's have a quick look at this. Comes in a few languages. Read it yourself. So the main things here is the camera resolution is 1920 by 1080. No, it says 1080p. The screen resolution is only 854 by 480, so what you see on screen isn't actually as good as what the camera can see. And video resolution is 1280 by 720, because it does actually have a internal SD card, so you can actually take photos, which will give you this resolution, and also does video, which I think will give you this resolution. Either way, whatever you see on screen isn't as good as what the camera can see. So it has a pull tab here for a screen peel, and you know how I like to do my screen peels. In this case I'm not going to do it. So I'm actually going to do the opposite. I'm actually going to pull the pull tab off and not do a screen peel. I want to keep it intact, just to help protect the screen. There'll be links down below for this thing as well in the description there, so make sure you go and follow those links. I believe there's also a discount code that's going to be coming, so make sure you check that out because you might be able to get to a better price. I believe Banggood's also having a sale on the 9th of June to the 19th of June, I think, something like that. So this video is probably going to be out around that time, so you might be able to get this on a decent price for that as well. So that's how you screw the camera in. So it's powered up. And as you see, it boots up really quickly. And you can see my leg. So let's just change views. Look, there's the camera up here somewhere. And it's got a torch on there. So you can actually illuminate the thing you're trying to look at. It also shows you up here what level it's set to. Right now, because I've got this desk really well lit up, you can't really see much difference there. If I was actually using this to go into something, then it'd be a little bit different. So obviously, because there's a hard metal tube, if you know, orientation could be tricky for you. All right, trying to get it rotated around to where you need it. Depends on what you're doing with it, obviously. Upside down now, but don't worry about that. If it's upside down, that's fine. Push this button here. It's now all the way up. But what it's actually done is flip the screen. It's not flip the image, it's flip the entire screen. That could be convenient if you're trying to, you know, see something the right way up. That actually works quite nicely just for that, but it's flipping the entire screen. So we've got other settings here. This is a zoom. Alright, so you can zoom in and zoom out. And your settings over here, resolutions for photos, so 1 meg and 2 meg. Date labels on or off. Shutter sound is on, so if you take a picture, it will do a click sound. So that's that. Push the setting button again, it goes to the next option. Automatic shutdown. So I've got set to 10 minutes right now. Languages, those are the ones available. Date and time, this is how you set it in here. You just push the OK button, let's go between each one. Okay, and setting to get back out. Beep sound is currently off. I'll turn it back on again. and you can hear why I turned it off. Sounds like a cell phone. DTMF phone, I should say. Formats for formatting the SD card, defaulting it, and version information is there. Okay, so this is why I turned off the beep. Normally, when it comes to beep settings, I normally don't mind beep settings. So I often leave them turned on because it confirms the key press. I normally like to have beep settings, but in this case, no. Doesn't suit me. So if I want to take a picture, is this still doing something? Or is it locked up? See, now I can't do anything. Oh, I think I've crashed it. I think it's crashed. Torch still comes on. But nothing else is functioning. I think I've crashed it when I've done that. It must be not liking the SD card. So when it tries to access the SD card, I think it was trying to take a picture, then it failed. Let's put the SD card out. There we go. Let's got it back again. Can I power it off now? No. Okay. So it looks like I've locked it up because it doesn't like the SD card. Well, that's a bit of a fail. And I can't turn it off or do anything. It's crashed. Does it have a reset on here? Yes, it does. There's a reset right over there. Let's use it. That's a great start. So let's push the reset button. Let's hold it down for a few seconds. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's now off. Let's power back up again. Right, we're back in business. Yeah, okay. It retained the date and stuff though, but it just reset it. Interesting though, if you see this, it's actually got the date off screen. It's got this bezel around the outside, which is actually smaller than the screen. So the very edge of the screen you can't see. Or it's offset slightly. Actually, I can see the black edge of the screen over here. So I actually think that the screen is very slightly offset compared to that bezel. I might just go and reformat this SD card again. Well, I did format in this, so it should be okay. Let's try this again, eh? We'll put it back in. We'll do another format. Okay, we'll format it. We'll try this again. Format. Delete all data. Okay. Right. Let's try this again. I think that's locked up again. It has. Does not like that SD card. So I'll just try reformatting that SD card and put it on my computer. Didn't recognise it on the computer, so I formatted it on the computer. This is saying no SD card, so it probably isn't the right format. But I've done a format on the computer, so let's try it again, formatting in here, and we'll see if this will work. It says formatting, then it disappears again. It shows it's being available, and I think it's locked up again. It's just not liking that card. So that reset button on the back, you don't actually have to hold it down. You just push it once and it's okay. It actually shuts it off. So you don't actually have to hold it. Okay, so I put this back in again. I've reformatted it again. Slightly different format because I'm doing formatting on a Mac. I'm doing exFAT. So I'll just try a different position screen. It's not showing as a bad format now. But now it says I need to format the card. Right. So let's do that then. So that formatting thing always just flicks up really quickly. Try again. No. That is definitely not working right. Does not like the SD card. Whether it's an issue with this particular card or whether it's a problem with this, the way it uses cards, I can't tell you. Let me see if I can find another card I can put in there. Alright, I just put in a 32GB card. That other one I had was a 1GB, which I thought would be big enough for this. Anyway, it's not complaining about it. It worked. So obviously just the SD card I didn't like. For some reason I didn't like that 1GB SD card. So that's working fine now. Okay. And I think that's recording video. Yes it is. It's recording video down there. So that's working alright. And I think we just push it again, do we? Yep, that stops it. Alright, so that is actually working okay with a different SD card. So that's something you may need to consider. If you do get one of these and it plays up on your SD card, try a different SD card. This 32 gig one is working alright, and the 1 gig was really not. So what I'm going to try doing now is overlaying the video I'm going to shoot with this camera. Alright, so I've currently got the thing shoved into a port of one of my speakers here. So I'm going to try and record video with this. So there is the speaker. This is one of my monitor speakers I use. There's one of the ports. I'm going to shove it into the port. So we go right to the back. There's the end of the port. So that's the back of the box. Now let's change cameras. So I've now changed cameras, which will give me a side view, and means we can now see inside the box. This is looking sideways from the sideways camera. There we go. Now focal distance is a problem because it's a long way away, but you can still see in there. You can actually see the way the connections are inside, and you can see the baffling and stuff inside the box. If I can turn it all the way around, I might be able to see a bit more, maybe. Side of the box. And to change camera views, you've got the OK button just here. You push that and it changes views. Alright, there's a slight delay there. There you go. Here's me, upside down probably. And then push it again. And it will change around, and that's looking at sideways, which is looking at my wrist right now. Okay, and there you go, it's on screen. Good. Oh look, I'm wearing a cowboy shirt again. So if you need to get inside a piece of gear and check something, like I was doing with that speaker and checking connections, if you really wanted to, you could actually wiggle this around. You could like form the end around and actually have it, you know, bent around so you can actually hook around and see inside things a bit better. You could, you know, pre-form it, because that's why it's got this bendy metal set up on here. So you can do those kinds of things. Very useful. So if you want to do this for other things, maybe you can look inside a piece of, like inside a car, you can look inside panels, follow wiring around, that sort of stuff. Put it through like headliners and try and check for things and try and find connections and what have you. You can do that sort of stuff. Automotive use is probably really good. I know some people use this kind of thing for doing engine inspections, and taking the spark plugs out off your engine and checking inside to make sure the cylinder looks okay and that sort of stuff, and there's no scratches on the bore and what have you. You know, automotive use is quite a common use for these sorts of things. Another use that came to my mind, like I've got here, I've got this test gear sitting on the shelving here. If you want to try and figure out what connections you've got on the back without pulling everything out, you could have this down the back along the shelf with the side camera on. You can actually look at the back of all the units and find your connections, see what's there, whatever. You could do that without having to pull everything out, just sort of came to mind. So that's a brilliant little piece of gear. That works really well. Yeah, so I've been wanting to get one of these things for quite a while. There's been lots of times I've wanted to have something like this to inspect inside a piece of gear without dismantling it, or to get inside a little corner and check for something where you really can't see in there, you can't get near a mirror and that sort of stuff. So I've really wanted one of these for quite a while. I'm really pleased I've now got one, so thanks to Banggood for supplying that to me. That will definitely come in useful. Don't forget, links down below, probably discount codes too. Catch you later. And I think that's recording video. Yes, it is. Recording video down there. So that's working alright.